Hi, it's Carl Brower, and I'm standing outside the Hyundai Motor America plant that's just outside of Savannah, Georgia. This is the plant that they announced in October of 2022 and began producing cars as quickly as October of 2024. It's now got a 300,000 capacity per year for automobile production, and that should be up to 500,000 a year in the next couple years. That's what they're shooting for, and that makes it potentially the highest capacity plant in the US for automobiles. You're going to be seeing both the IONIQ 5 and the IONIQ 9 that we're about to drive rolling out of this plant. But they also say the plant's going to be flexible and it's going to have the ability to produce hybrid vehicles as well, which is a good idea because I'm not sure what the capacity for vehicles at this plant is going to get up to, but I know the capacity for EV sales is still faltering a little bit. So it's good that they're going to have some flexibility here and do hybrids as well. So we're just leaving the Hyundai Motor Group's production facility outside of Savannah, and we're driving the new 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9, which is being produced there. This vehicle was inspired by the Hyundai IONIQ 7 concept, and the idea that Hyundai keeps emphasizing is that this is supposed to be kind of a lounge environment. They really want it to have space to connect. It is a 3-row SUV. It's their first 3-row SUV that's powered purely by batteries. And they're looking for not just clean sustainability, but also this very kind of community lounge joint experience inside the vehicle. You can get up to 3 powertrains on the new Hyundai IONIQ 9. The base version has a 160 kilowatt motor in the rear. That's considered the long range model, and it's got 215 horsepower, and it's good for 335 miles. There's also a mid-range model. It's got all-wheel drive, and it adds a 70 kilowatt front motor for about 303 horsepower, and that one is still supposed to go over 300, like 311 miles. And then you can get a top-end all-wheel drive performance model. It puts a 160 kilowatt motor in the front and maintains the one in the rear, and it's good for 422 horsepower. And that one again is still supposed to have over 300 mile range. So you've got the 3 levels of drivetrain: long range rear wheel drive, long range all wheel drive, or performance all wheel drive. You can only get that performance model on the upper trim levels. All of them use a 110 kilowatt hour battery, lithium ion rechargeable battery, and they have an 800 volt architecture. And they are supposed to be able to charge from 10 to 80% in around 24 minutes on a level 3 charger. But this vehicle will also have the North American charging standard plug, and that can use the Tesla charging network. On that network, it's supposed to go from 10 to 80% in around 40 minutes. When you look at the Hyundai IONIQ 9, you can see this kind of big boxy shape that they were going for. They wanted maximum space. It is a 3-row family SUV. With all 3 rows in place, you still have 22 cubic feet of cargo space behind that 3rd row. If you put the 3rd row down, that jumps up to 47 cubic feet. And if you put all the rows down, except for the front row, you get 87 cubic feet of cargo space behind it. Despite that boxy shape, it only has a 0.27 coefficient of drag. And that's what helps it get over 300 miles of range, even with the performance all-wheel drive version. You're driving the IONIQ 9 on the freeway, and Hyundai tried to make this vehicle as quiet as possible. There's a lot of acoustic glass going on to reduce exterior noise, which is really nice in an electric car because you don't have any engine noise. And I know that when they first started making electric cars, a lot of the manufacturers struggled. They realized they didn't have the engine noise to mask things like the mirror noise and the antenna noise when they used to have traditional antennas, because that was the only thing making noise. There was no drivetrain sound. So if you really want a quiet electric vehicle, you gotta not just have no explosions going off under the hood, which they all have, but also a lot of effort on the outside to keep it quiet and all those other noises don't come intruding into the interior. And that's what this vehicle's got. It's got this acoustic glass to avoid that. Inside, you've got the option to sit either 6 or 7 people, depending on if you get the captain's chairs or a bench seat in the 2nd row. Of course, the upper trims tend to have the captain's chairs, reduced capacity, but fancier interior. And speaking of interior materials, to go along with the environmental theme of the vehicle, they do use recycled materials for a lot of the interior construction here. And it's pretty interesting. You've got, this kind of long horizontal dash. Of course, you've got the dual 12.3-inch screens that you see on a lot of recent Hyundai products like the new Santa Fe and the IONIQ 5. There are recycled materials throughout here, and if you have an upper trim like this one, you also get this kind of suede headliner that still has a very premium feel. A quiet, refined, roomy interior, and even the ambient lighting, even in full sunlight, I can see a hint of this ambient lighting on the dash and in the doors. And I'm sure as it gets darker or in the evening, you get a real cool effect with that lighting. One of Hyundai's features or characteristics since they really came to the US is value. And on even the IONIQ 9, the base model, you end up with a fair amount of cool features like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging for smartphones, heated front seats, and up to 7 USB-C ports. So pretty much everyone in the vehicle can have their own charging port. If you go higher up, you start to get more premium materials. You can get a head-up display. You get this cool center console that will actually slide back and forth. You can theoretically make it accessible to the rear passengers. There's an upgraded Bose audio system as well. A wide range of luxury features, of course, cooled seats, everything you would want in a more premium luxury vehicle, you can get once you get up to the calligraphy upper trim models. There is this very cool technology that Hyundai's had on previous vehicles, and this vehicle-to-load capability. Essentially, you can use your electric vehicle not just to power the wheels and move you around, but to also power other things. If you want to go camping or if there's an emergency situation, it basically acts like a mobile battery pack, a giant mobile battery pack that can power other things. Like most modern vehicles, the IONIQ 9 has plenty of standard safety features, driver assist like forward collision warning. It's even got on all models the blind spot view, so you can see when you put a signal in what's in your blind spot. This one has also highway driving assist 2, which lets you drive for extended periods without holding the wheel as long as you're watching the road and the camera that's monitoring you is happy about that. It's also got the ability to know when you are not holding the wheel, and it does this much better than a lot of other vehicles. I've been in too many vehicles where you have to convince it you're holding the wheel by kind of grabbing the wheel and swerving it. I'd rather they use capacitive touch. This one doesn't use capacitive, it needs torque feedback, but it's really sensitive, so much so that it feels like it's using capacitive touch because it very rapidly recognizes that I'm holding the wheel when I'm holding the wheel, and I don't have to like swerve the steering wheel to tell it, hey, I am controlling the car, so settle down. I've been in other vehicles where it's really annoying that you have to grab the wheel and start to almost swerve the vehicle to convince it that you're controlling the vehicle when the computer's yelling at you like that. When you're driving the IONIQ 9 in stop-and-go traffic or around town, you can, of course, appreciate the kind of torque that every electric vehicle includes, that instant power. And according to Hyundai, if you get the top-line all-wheel drive performance model, it'll do 0 to 60 in just under 5 seconds. If you go for the base model, it's closer to around 8.5 seconds, 0 to 60. But it's funny how electric cars, it kind of doesn't matter how fast they are to 60, they all feel quick because of that instant torque that they provide. Modern cars are not inexpensive, we know that, and electric vehicles tend to be some of the priciest. That said, you can get the base S-trim rear-wheel drive version of the IONIQ 9 for right around $61,000. And if you go for the top-end calligraphy design model, that's going to cost you about $78,000. And in between there is where you're going to start adding things like the 21-inch wheels, power folding second row seats, and this kind of micro suede headliner that we've talked about. There's a push-button start on this vehicle, and like pretty much all new Hyundais, you've got these dual 12.3-inch screens here that give you both your control system as well as your gauge information. And you can scroll through a lot of different information here. On the gauge cluster, there's a whole series of types of pages and information you can look at in between your primary gauges, and then you've got your scrolling here in control for all your different control systems. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well as wireless charging. The charging pad is right here, And you've got different drive modes that you can see. If you switch through them, you can see them up here on the gauge cluster, which ones you're using. Really basic control system. I'm glad that they have dedicated climate controls here. So as deep as you may or may not have to go in the touchscreen, you've always got, look at that, tactile dials. Imagine dedicated tactile feedback when you're trying to decide what you want your temperature to be or where you want the air blowing. That's the way to do it. Thank you, Hyundai. Everything does not need to be buried in a screen three menus deep, please. The lounge environment they're going for seems to work in the second row. I mean, there is a lot of space here. And you do have the captain's chairs in this high-end calligraphy model, so it's very comfortable, roomy, and high-quality materials. You've also got a second row climate control system here with everything from heated and ventilated seats to full-on temperature control. You've got some storage space here, and don't forget you can move this entire thing back so it's even closer to you, and even get access to the storage area from back here. So that lounge atmosphere they're going for, it's pretty well executed. They certainly did an effort on making it happen. And look, you've got some power operated seats here too. So you can power the seat up for your third row. You do have an AC outlet here with 120 volts, and you've got these controls here for making the third row seat come up and down. Now, as we mentioned, with the third row up, you still have 22 cubic feet of storage space behind that third row. And if you have that folded down, that jumps to 47 cubic feet behind the second row. A lot of space in here, and if you're looking for trying to swap quickly between cargo priority and people priority, a lot of these three-row SUVs are adding this. They're adding these fully power operated seats because God forbid you have to pull a lever and push something. Ugh. So that's kind of the new thing. We saw it recently on the new Expedition. Nobody wants to use, manual labor to move the seats around and switch from cargo to people priority. We saw this on the IONIQ 5, and then we saw it on the IONIQ 6. Now we're seeing it on the IONIQ 9. This pixel theme, Hyundai kind of likes that with their EVs, and we're seeing it on this vehicle. It is part of this vehicle's really super aerodynamic. I mean, when you look at how this pixel headlight design actually stretches back and flows back, that's adding to that super aerodynamic design. And that's what gets this thing over 300 miles of range, even in the all-out, all-wheel drive performance version. Pretty impressive. So we've been driving the IONIQ 9 all day today in lovely Savannah, Georgia. And it really is a very well executed three-row electric SUV. Now, I'm questionable about whether three-row SUVs powered by batteries make the most sense. You usually want to go long distances, you want maximum flexibility for road trips, and when you got to stop and charge, that can get challenging. But if you want to haul a lot of people and cargo, I think this is one of your best options if you want to do it using battery power and not gasoline.